So I had a couple questions about grapplers going into MMA. So we're just going to look at a few things. One, good defense on the feet. Two, entering into the clinch and trying to get the takedown. And three, how to train when you're actually doing your grappling leading up to an MMA competition. Basic defense for the grappler in the striking position. So here with Scott, the main thing is if you model boxing, boxers keep their hands about right here because they can't hold the hands up here for 12 rounds. There's no way your shoulders are going to burn and all that. And in some MMA fights, if you keep your hands way up here for a long time, maybe they get tired too. But you have to have your hands up because if I'm here, what I'm doing is I don't have any defense between his fist and my face. Whether he throws a straight punch, right, or swings in kind of wild or whatever here, I have nothing in the way. So the first thing is to get used to starting with your hands up here like this. Okay, now there's a barrier. He at least has to go around or inside those barriers, which makes the whole hitting surface a little smaller for him. So instead of giving the whole head, now starting from here, it's going to be a little tougher. He has to come up the middle, or if you keep that closed, he's going to have to go around the side. The thing you have to watch, of course, is those big hooks that are going to come in. Especially you're going to start to shoot a little bit, and they're going to hook, or they're going to stay out there and hook off of you. You just have to make sure, your defense-wise, that you're always ready, or other side too, always ready to raise those elbows up. Now notice when I raise that elbow up, I'm not just bringing it here, because Scott's here. See, I'm like this, he can still hit me right in the face. Boom. So what I want to do is make sure that that elbow's across here. See, almost to the middle of my nose here. So if he throws a straight punch, at least there's something there. So I'm protecting against the hook and the straight at the same time. Making sure you don't just put your hand here, but you're actually putting it all the way behind your head, because if you get hit here, you might get knocked out. So you don't want to do this. You want it all the way back there so you're nice and tight. So your hands are up here. If you get stuck in a place where he's throwing hooks and all that or whatever, you just keep this up. Now, of course, you're not going to stand there and take shots. You want to move in. But on those times, you try to go in, he pushes away. You got to get up and get those hands up and protect yourself again. So as simple as that is, that's what you should be working all the time. Hands up, cover up, cover up, cover up, cover up. Change levels, go in. Maybe you change levels again, he pushes away, or whatever, doesn't go up. Hands back up on the way back. Instead of coming out like this, which is the natural thing to do, or pushing out. Anytime you push out, you're not covered at all. This is covered. Hands in is covered. Just like in the guard, someone's guard, you don't want to push out. You want to keep the elbows back, unless you know exactly where your hands are. So same idea, keep those hands in. Making it into the clinch. Okay, so of course we want to have good, strong striking, so you have to work your striking. And have plenty of people that can hold mitts and hit. But on the entry itself, everybody that goes against the grappler, someone who's primarily a grappler, is going to practice kneeing the person on the way in. So when I make that shot, boom, they're going to bring that knee up and meet the face. If you watch Sean Shirk and Hermes Franca, Hermes Franca knew that Shirk was going to be shooting in, and every time he came in, he ate that knee, like big time. So that's what the person's going to do. So we have to have tactics to get around that. We want to make sure that we're not, the only way we're going to get in is boom, like this, and it's easy for the person to time. So what we want to do is something like this. This is what I'd suggest right here, is making sure you know how to hook well and all. So he's here, he's waiting for you to come in, right? You start and then you stop. And go ahead and throw that knee. I go, stop, pom, pom, and then in you go, okay? So you're going to start the shot, basically drawing him to knee. So you're going to go here, boom, boom, bang, and then in you go to get to whatever position you want to go for. So you know it's coming, so let him throw it. That puts him off balance for a split second. But the key thing is you could go hop, stop, and then go. That's a possibility. But a little nicer yet, if you can go stop, come up with hitting to make him think about something as you come in for your entry. So start the shot, you know this is what's coming, and then use that to your advantage to actually put him out of position so you can get in. When you're doing your grappling training, whether it's with the gi, most of it's going to be without the gi, but I'm sure you're still going to probably be doing a lot of training with the gi on. Wear the gloves and add the strikes all the time. That's the simplest thing that's going to help the training. Because you're going to find when the strikes are always there, you're not going to let the person just sit up in your guard and get posture to punch down. You're going to be looking for those strikes coming down at you, covering up well, and working your game a little bit differently. Also, you're going to be able to get your grips with the glove, getting to the back and trying to finish a choke and all. You'll just really be used to the gloves. And I really suggest, too, that you wrap your hands before you put on those gloves. At least put some sort of wrap, put on the glove, and try to use the gloves that are about the same size as you will use in your competition. That's way you're going to, once you get into the cage or the ring, you're going to have the exact same feel as you had in training. So you work all the bugs out in your training, becomes very natural. You go into the ring, and you're not going to be one of those guys that all of a sudden is doing jiu-jitsu in an MMA fight and getting punched repeatedly in the face because you're in a bad position that's safe in jiu-jitsu, but very dangerous with the striking. And go. So those are three basic ideas: keeping the hands up, timing your shot, and actually putting them out of position by faking that shot, coming back, and then going in, and then just making sure with all your training, you always have the gloves on and you always have strikes. If you're doing a class or doing some training where there's no strikes in the class, at least put your gloves on and make sure that you're really used to that. And go out and train it.